The first thing I like to graph is the vertical asymptote. Where's the vertical asymptote? X equals -1. That's the easiest thing to put on my graph. Then from there, I like to think, are there any holes? No holes. So then, is there a horizontal asymptote? Well, let's check the degree. This degree is to the first power, that degree is to the first power. So I take the highest degree over the highest degree, and it's y equals 2. Y equals 2. So I'd like to draw my asymptotes first. That one vertical, that one horizontal. Now at this point, this is where I like to do the test point. I like to figure out where anything could be. And the easiest thing to plug in is 0. See how x is 0 here? Let's plug that in. 0, 0, and I get that at x is 0, what is y going to be? 5. 0, 5. So I'm just going to put a point at 0, 5. There's my test point here. And 0, 5. Guess what that is? That's the y-intercept. I know that for sure. What else could I do? I could say, well, if I want to find the x-intercept, where will this be equal to 0? Where will this be equal to 0? Multiply by x plus 1. Where is the numerator going to equal 0? Where is the numerator going to equal 0? Well, if x was -5 over 2, the 2's would cancel, and you would have -5 plus 5, and that would make the numerator equal to 0. That's where the x-intercept is going to be. At x equals -5 over 2, 0. What does that mean? -5 over 2 is -2.5. -2.5. This right here is where the x-intercept is. And already I know what the graph's going to look like. I don't need to do any test points right now because I know that this is a horizontal asymptote. What does that mean? It has to get closer and closer and closer to this graph. This is a vertical asymptote. It means to get closer and closer to infinity. This is going to get closer and closer to this asymptote, to infinity. This is going to get closer and closer to that asymptote and go out for a negative infinity. So look, I can already draw my graphs. It looks like that parent function we learned, 1 divided by x. So now I have a couple of examples. Feel free. Now I want you to try them. Without a calculator, you have 3 functions. Try graphing, compare with your neighbors, see if you all agree. You should be able to do this without a calculator. You may work in groups. We only have one more slide after this.